Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Joe Daddy's Garage. It is Monday, December 5th, 2022. 20 days. 20 days to get your Christmas shopping done. Or in my case, well, never mind. I don't do Christmas shopping. I wait and see whatever my wife buys, and then I'm always surprised by what everybody else gets. Like, yay, great. Everybody else out there, you have 20 days, or 19 days, I guess, to get your Christmas shopping done. So go beat the rush. Buy something. And if you would, and if you're buying it off of Amazon, make sure you follow my links. Make sure you follow my links on Amazon. I have links on my videos. I don't have one on this, but there are links on my home screen up on top, on the corner. There's an Amazon link. So if you go through that, then I get a couple pennies out of whatever you may purchase for all of your loved ones in your life. Hope everybody's having a good day. As you see, I'm wearing my Steelers hat tonight, and I'm doing that to celebrate the Steelers' victory over the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, I live in Georgia. No, I'm not a Falcons fan. I'm not really a Braves fan. I'm not any kind of... no, I grew up in Pennsylvania. So by default, the best team in Pennsylvania over the years, Pittsburgh Steelers. I will say that. So I've been, a fan all my life. And what was really cool, got to go to the game yesterday that was up in Atlanta, played the Falcons, and they won. So a couple bells for the Steelers pulling off a victory. Now, they're not the best team this year, but it was nice to see them win a game and actually watch the game. I was with my son and his girlfriend. Good times. Good times. Again, I hope everybody's doing well. If you're new to the live stream or if you're just checking in, hit the thumbs up button. That helps YouTube know that we are doing this live stream and that people may be interested in checking in and see what's going on. Just simple click. That's all you got to do. Here's a bell in advance. And I also give out little bells, little awards. It's kind of like, what was that, the It's a Wonderful Life movie? Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Hey, every time you make a good comment, well, most every time, I'll try to give you a bell. Just kind of how I am. Yep. Anyway, let's see who's here right off the top. First one in, Rick Gain. He's up in New Jersey. No rain here today, but a little chilly. Looking forward to some good car talk. Well, I hope we can get some good car talk going. I really do. We'll find out. But there's a bell for you as well, Rick Gain. And he says, I just realized you can hit the like button before the video even starts. See? Look at that. Preemptive strike. Yep, that's good. Terry Keithley, evening all in Barry from cold, wet Central Illinois. Please hit thumbs up and like button. Thank you kindly. Yes. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Troy Justit. Good evening, all. Looking forward to no political ads here in Georgia after tomorrow. Amen to that. Amen to that. If I have to hear all the more horrible things that they have to say about each other, I don't have anything positive to say, but I got plenty of negative to say for everybody else. That's what they're doing. Jerry checking in from the Money Pit, Middle Tennessee. Good evening to all. It is rainy day and is expected to get expected for the next week. Thumbs up for Barry. Thank you, Jerry. Yes, and I hope your shoulder is healing nicely. By the way, let's see who's here. Oh, Robert's checking in. Evening all. 80 degrees and muggy here in Texas. Oh boy, 80 degrees and muggy. I would probably take that over 45 or whatever we're having and rain. Just saying. Glad you're here, Robert. Steve's Money Pit. Good evening, everyone, from cool Wisconsin. Let's all give Daddy Barry the upward finger tonight. Hopefully we'll earn it. I'll take that as a good way. Not the way it sounds, but... Thank you for that. Oh, look. I have a potential spam call. No thanks. No thanks. Too busy. They're going to call me and try to get me to vote for somebody that I'm not interested in. Rick Stevenson, good evening, everyone. Glad you're here, Rick. Give a shout out to Rick for tonight's coffee. Y'all see my coffee? Yeah. Good stuff. 68 Orange Crate. Greetings from Houston. Glad you're here. Bob Shoemaker checking in. Evening all. And Dave Britton. I'm going to give community bell for that one. Little comments. No, you both get a bell. There you go. No need to share. Leonard checking in. Evening all. How's everyone doing? Glad you're here, Leonard. I don't know if I remember seeing you in a recent live streams, but I'm glad you're here. You're out in the desert, if I remember correctly. Busted Knuckle Garage. Tommy, Birmingham here. Glad you're here, Busted Knuckle. Tommy. Let's see. RC Guy Garage. Tim, I'll be buying that Bugatti going through your Amazon links. Oh, yes, brother. Do it. Do it. Dawn's Manufacturing. Hello all from Chilly Snowy PDX. Betsy is moving along. Well, that's a good thing. That is good to hear, Dawn. Good to hear. Hope you're getting all that primer stuff resolved and all that sort of thing. So glad you're here. Let's see. Harvey checking in from New Jersey. Hi, Barry. Happy Monday. Thank you, Harvey. Oh, no. Now, Simone has changed up her name. Hooked on Cortinas and Classics. It used to be just Hooked on Classics. But now it's Cortinas and Classics. Let's see. Just been enjoying some Pink Floyd. Okay, well, that's even better. That's even better. Whenever I read that, and I like that, Hooked on Cortinas and Classics. There was the movie, just bring this up real quick. The movie The Blues Brothers, where they go into a country bar where they're going to play. They're not supposed to be there. They're impersonating another band. I think they're impersonating the Good Old Boys. And whichever one, Jake asks a question to the woman there. He says, so what kind of music do you play here? And she looks at him and says, we play both kinds. She says, we like both kinds, country and Western. So when I saw that Cortinas and Classics, just kind of made me think of that. So a little chuckle for you. If you remember that movie, hey, good for you. Troy, Barry, I have one thing to say. Fly, Eagles fly, 11-1, baby. You know what? I'll give them a bell. And for that comment, if the Steelers aren't going anywhere, we know that. They're pretty much even. But, hey, if the Eagles can go, by all means, be happy to have them, make it. Anybody but Tom Brady. Hey, it's Steve checking in. Footage Factory. Yo. Glad you're here, Steve. Hope all is well with you. Jerry checking in. Lalina DeQuina. Howdy, Barry. Howdy. All could make you an honorary Buckeye for when they beat the Georgia Bulldogs on New Year's Eve. Robert talks about Michigan too much, so he is no help. That's okay. Georgia can lose. It won't bother me at all. If I'm going to choose a school in the South, it's going to be Georgia Tech. Yeah. My oldest son graduated from Georgia Tech, so he's an engineer. Yeah. Jeff Reynolds. Hi, all. Barry, I can't believe you mentioned movie just 3 minutes into tonight's show. Glad you're here, Jeff. The Blues Brothers. Country and Western. We like both kinds of music. Harvey says, Rick, what part of New Jersey are you from? He's talking about Rick Gain. Simone says, hi to Robert. All right. Crash Rider from Southern Indiana. Good evening to everyone. Give the man a thumbs up. Thank you, Crash Rider. Glad you're here. Michael Pagliarini. Barry, you just got extra points from my wife for not being a Falcon fan. Yay! Never been a Falcons fan. Well, I will take that back. I was a Falcons fan when they played the Patriots. High hopes. No, they blew it. You go into the halftime at 28-3 and you lose the Super Bowl? Nah, that ain't right. You don't deserve to ever go again. Rusty Ranch, Texas. Hello from the great state of Texas. Rusty Ranch. Okay. Now, I don't know if I've seen that name before. Have you changed up from something you've had before? If not, you get a bell anyway. Glad you're here. Steve's Money Pig. Glad you got my greeting right. Oh, okay. Nick Moss. Sorry. I almost said that wrong. Glad you're here, Nick. Hope the Mustang is coming along. Leonard. Hi, how's things across the pond? Talking to Simone, or maybe Simone and Jeff. Jeff says, Barry, movie again at 7 minutes in. Hey, I don't know. I may have made 2 movie comments. I don't know. It's all a blur at this point. Simone is a chilly 42.8 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty close to where we're at right now in Georgia. Troy says, I work for Georgia Tech. Glad to have you on board. Yes. Yep, my son graduated from there. He's a mechanical engineer. I forget what year he graduated. 2015, something like that. Terry Keithley, I'm a true Buckeye. 55 years. Well, that's all right. Give you a bell for that. Nick says, hey, Barry, finish the body and paint on this thing. 15,000 yours up for grabs. That's my limit. And this other guy wants that for just the body work because of the fiberglass or something. Holy cow. That's a wad of money. That's a wad of money. I don't know when I can get to it, though. I mean, I'd probably consider it, but I don't know when I can get to it. Don't know when. Whoops. Nick, I'll see what I can do about driving it to you, eh? Well, that would be cool. That would be cool. But again, I don't know. My dance card's pretty full. Just put it that way. I'm pretty busy. Wait a minute. Michael Pagliarini, this is Mike's wife. I take it back. Wait a minute. You took it back because I was cheering for the against the Patriots? Jerry says, Terry, you have me beat by 2 years. Well, it's not a competition, Jerry. It's not a competition. I can tell you that I'm 55, but I probably feel like I'm pushing 65 anymore. Next is, well, I tried. Probably try again next month. Okay, well, you can try. I wish I could. Oh, okay. I get it. Well, we're not going to talk about the Patriots. Not going to talk about all the Super Bowl things they did. All the wins. Yeah. I'm not going to talk about any of that. Or deflated footballs. Or any of that. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff. So let's just move on. Simone, I had to replace the battery in the Cortina today. It was flat as a pancake. Luckily, it was still under warranty. Well, that's a plus. Anymore, batteries are outrageous. I've talked about this, before, where I now, if I have the opportunity that I need a battery, I'm going to go to the U-Pull-It yard first. And here they'll sell you a battery for $50 with, they say, a lifetime warranty on it. You can't beat that. Now, they're pulling these out of junkers, right? So they really have nothing to lose. It's just a battery to them. They just, if it fails, bring it back. They'll replace it, move on from there. So they're making money on it. But anyway, so if I need a battery, I've already bought 3 of those. I know I put one in Jade. It was basically a brand new battery for $50, and they're upwards of $180, $200 for these batteries now. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Of course, that's with everything. If you've you all know, if you go to like any kind of restaurant now or any of that sort of thing, prices are crazy. They really, really are. Everything's going up. Just ridiculous. In fact, when I was at the football game yesterday, we were trying to find some food. Now, plenty of food available, right? We went to a place that had pulled pork and pulled, shredded chicken or whatever with barbecue sauce on it. Guess what? For a sandwich, basic hamburger bun size sandwich, yeah, $10. $10. A little thing of rice, or I mean not rice, macaroni and cheese about that big, $6. Crazy. Of course, that's at the stadium. They're gonna get you when they can at the stadium. Let's see, Nick. Be honest, I'm freaking out. I don't know if I can afford his rate and find a good body man around here that can get it done in time for May is challenging. I just don't know if I can do the fiberglass. Yeah, I understand. I do. But I can't pull anything else in here. Not at the time. Not at the time. I wish I could, but I can't. Robert, the taxes and fees alone on a battery are a fortune these days. Yes, they are. Yeah, they want every last nickel out of you for that. Donnie checking in. Hello again, Barry. It's been a while. I hope all is well. I love the Bronco in the background. Glad you're here, Donnie. I'm glad you're here. Happy to know you're out here today. It's been a while. You're right. And the Bronco will be getting painted. So if you haven't heard already, I'm going to be going over that, making sure the body's tuned up right, smooth, and putting paint on it. So that's all I'm doing to that thing. I'm not building, no engine, no drivetrain, no electrical, just the bodywork. Wally, I've had to return 2 batteries. Yes, full warranty, but terrible quality nowadays. Yeah. I mean, it's a battery. You're lucky if they last 6 years anymore. I don't know what we need to do to improve upon that, other than like what they have, the dry cell batteries. I don't know how long they last, but it's crazy what the prices are on any of this stuff. Dave, I bought a battery for my boat and it was close to $400 with tax here. Wow. That's, yeah. Okay. Probably another reason why I don't have a boat. Simone, square post batteries are more expensive here than round post. I'm not sure if I get that. A square post battery? More expensive here than round post. I don't know what that means. Like, we have the standard, the old stuff has a round terminal, looks like your thumb, and you slip around the terminal on top of that, right? But square post are you talking about like the threaded where it has the bolt in the front? Because I don't know. That might be something different that we don't have over here. Rusty Ranch, heat and cold kill batteries, quality control stinks. Yes, it does. Nick says there's a Ford event at the local racetrack I would like to make. Well, you know what? You can impress them with primer. Seriously. I mean, it's one thing to have it all painted up. Sure, I get that. But a project that's kind of in the works, that turns heads too. That does. The way that car sounds, I mean, I listen to it on Instagram and stuff. Woo! That car sounds nasty. It really does. Give you another bell. I do like the sound of that car, Nick. Leonard, Red Lobster, $100 for 2. Okay. That's, yeah. Nick says, I hear you. Okay. Steve, hooked on Cortinas, I had to buy a battery from Halfords for my 68 Mustang, and they had negative and positive swapped. So I had to extend the dang wires. Barry, have you seen any of my wiring vids lately? No, I mean, if they popped up, I haven't seen them, Steve. Sorry to say. I haven't. I rarely get the chance anymore to try to watch videos. I try to when I get it, when the opportunity comes up, but it's hard for me to get time to watch actual videos between the efforts I'm putting in here and my own editing and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Steve, anyone notice that hamburgers have gotten smaller? That is another thing. We got some food from Arby's Now Arby's is going to be more expensive, but it was for 2 regular meals with large drinks. We're not talking some exotic chicken sandwich, Asiago this or some sub. Just one was a roast beef, and the other one was a roast beef with Swiss cheese. It was $21. $21. Yeah. Robert, Sam's Club hot dog and a drink went down to $1.39 from $1.50. Well, there you go. I just need to get a membership with Sam's Club and eat there every day. I could probably do that, honestly. Hot dog. I'll eat hot dogs. Michael, it's okay here in last. It's okay there in last place. She drives me nuts with the Patriot stuff. It's okay there in last place. She drives me nuts. Yeah, we won't talk about all the rules and stuff. We won't, the favoritism. Won't talk about any of that. Don, Nick, it's a 1.5 to 2 year queue for paint around here. Wow. That's, yeah. Okay. All right. Dave Britton, I find the best place to buy automotive batteries is Costco. Great warranty and no questions. What kind of questions do they normally ask? Are you talking about just return it? You never know. They might get, some other places might get more personal. Questions you don't want to answer. But Costco, okay. Thank you, Dave. Steve says, and Dawn, be home soon if you want to stop by for brake line install. And Barry, we can live stream it, split screen with you. That would be cool. That sounds doable. We'd have to make it's probably have to do it on Monday night. Probably. But that would be cool. Yeah. Rusty Ranch. We buy junk batteries and get a good one sometimes. Okay. Well, that's the thing. There's like I said, this U-Pullet yard. Most of those cars were running when they were wrecked, right? So why not? Why not sell the batteries? And they do it. They do make sure they're charged up, and they make sure there's no dead cells. $50? Yeah, can't beat it. Just keep the receipt. Simone says to Footage Factory, Halfords are rubbish. I try to avoid them if I can. Leonard, what happened to the 10-cent hamburgers? I would say some of us weren't around when they were 10 cents. They became crystal, and then they charged $1 a piece for them, right? Okay, so Dawn's talking to Steve. Steve, Barry, you're just too dang busy making videos to even watch them. I hear you. Yeah, it's I'm just like, I'm always busy. Okay, so I don't know where Simone says she sent a photo. So it hasn't shown up yet. Probably has to bounce off a couple satellites. And we'll see what happens. But if it shows up, we will get it up there. Terry Keithley, I buy blems on Recons from Interstate, $65. Okay. All right. Randy Bayless. With the S-welder, 110 or 220 volts, can you tell the difference with car sheet metal or only on thicker metals if you're on 220? What I would recommend is just use the 110. Just use the 110. Now, the S-welder comes with that adapter to go from 110, take it from the 110 out of your wall through the 220 adapter, and then you're back in the welder. You're not going to see, you don't really want to use 220 on any kind of sheet metal. That's just too hot. So, in fact, my my other welder that I have, my Lincoln, it's a 110. It's a 140 model, but it's a 110 volts, and I've welded all kinds of stuff with that. Some heavy stuff too, up to a 1/4 inch, but I've also you have to lay it in there. I don't know that there's much out there as far as bodywork or sheet metal or even some framework that's going to require a 220. I don't see it. Now, it may be maybe there's a cost savings involved. You know, if are welding something heavy to use a 220, it might, I don't know if it'll matter that much. If you were doing it, you know, every day for 8 hours a day, it might make a difference monetarily, but I don't really see it being that big a deal. So I would just stick with the 110. Good question, by the way. Thank you, Randy. Steve, hey, Don, I have a paint guy north of Vancouver, 2 months queue. Oh, there you go. Look, let me ask you this then. Is epoxy only okay for under the front and rear glass? Because I have thought of that, but I just don't know how that works with the paint situation. Is epoxy only okay for, well, normal, let me see what else Nick is saying here. Okay, so he says, like, if you were going to leave it in primer, how built up would you go, or would you avoid, there must be avoid doing something. We have to figure that out. What's the rest of the statement? Well, Nick, let's put it this way. The problem with primers, depending on what you're doing with it, is they really don't have any UV protection. So, yes, you could use epoxy, but it's not intended to be exposed to sunlight because it will break down. So the idea being that if you're going to do epoxy, it should be underneath the panel, underneath like the hood or in the trunk or something like that. If you're not going to do any more to it, typically that's okay. But normal process is to get the car prepped, and this is just the way I do it. Get the car prepped for epoxy, whether it means sanding or stripping material, whatever. Get it in epoxy, and then start working out from there with body fillers and that sort of thing. If you don't need any, you can go to a 2K high build primer. There's a window of time between when you can actually spray epoxy and spray high build on top of it. Usually it's like 4 days. If you go longer than 4 days, you have to scuff it, sand it, and all that sort of thing. But again, even that primer is not UV resistant, so you got to be careful with that. So I don't know if that answers all your question or not, but I'm trying to help you out where I can. Dave Britton, off-car question. Just curious, do they tack onto your utility bills their delivery fee? It makes me lose my mind here. A delivery fee? You know, I don't know, honestly. My wife pays the bills. I never even look at the bills. I don't even know I don't even know. I couldn't tell you that. So if anybody else has a comment as to whether they have a delivery fee is that for everything? Like, because we have gas to, heat our house, and then electric to run the house and also run out here. I don't know if they do that or not. So maybe somebody else can comment. Oh, he says, example, just got my electric bill for the cottage, and we used $61 worth of power, and they charged $200 for delivery. What? Do they bring it to hand deliver it in buckets or something? That doesn't make any sense. Tell them you'll pick it up yourself. Just waive the delivery fee. Just tell them where you go to pick it up. That doesn't make sense. That's like you're paying for the infrastructure that's already there. Yeah. Let's see. Hold on. Leonard. Got ready to put the rear bumper on and have to cut loose the rear tail panel. It's off one quarter inch. That's not good. You never want to have to do that. So sorry to hear that, Leonard. Steve, I was just pricing a seat cover package for one of my cars, and you're saying, what? 80 to 95 weeks lead time? Why don't I just tell you a year and a half? A year? What? That's crazy. Wow. That is crazy. Mr. Mikey, hi all. Glad to be part of the audience. Glad you're here, Mr. Mikey. Let me see if Simone's picture came through. No. No, it's not here. It's not here, Simone. No. No. Not here. So you have to try again. Did you send it to the right email address? joedaddysgarage@gmail.com. Let me see if I have that. Yep. It's at the bottom of the screen. So if you do want to send a picture or something that you want to see on the screen, you can send it to that email traveling along the bottom there. And some people forget they don't put the S on or something. All right, let's get back to where we were. Steve, have a serious question, Barry. I see you are juggling conversations and you seem to be doing it well. Do you find juggling, fixing cars, wrenching, prep, and maximizing vids, editing? Wait, there must be more to that question. Do you find juggling, fixing cars, wrenching, prep, and maximizing vids, editing, filming, posting? Oh, there's got to be more to that. I'm going to guess maybe a challenge? I know. It cuts you off and it makes you wait. So, I'm guessing that's kind of what you're asking. It is a lot of juggling when it comes to I don't know what the rest of the question is. So it's kind of hard to give you the straight up answer on that. But we'll have to wait and see what the rest of the question is. All right, Nick. I mean, just for the event, I don't want to eat a big what? Oh, it says bug. Okay. Okay, change it. I don't want to eat a bug or bird when I'm driving around a track or to the show. I like to have glass in it. I would assume you'd want the jams at least shot. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're planning on leaving it in, yes, you could do that. Spray epoxy on it and then put the glass in. You can. So, yeah. Dawn saying for us transmission charge equals $5.49. Distribution charge $50.84. Yeah, I don't know what ours is. Sorry. Okay, Simone. Your picture came through this time. So let me see if I can pull that up. See if I have to delete some other pictures first. Because let me delete one of these for sure. And try this one. Hopefully it opens. We'll find out. Okay. So Simone was talking before about the battery. Let me pull down Dawn's comment quick. Okay. And okay. So when you say square post, we would call that here in the States a side post. We would call that the side post. I think that's what we're looking at. But our batteries, it's not on top. It's actually on the side, the front side of the battery itself. So that would take a different type of connector. Our batteries would have a round flat plate, let's say, with a hole in the middle with a threading in it, and then the terminal would be round and made up against it with a bolt that goes into it and threads together. So that's different than what we have. Terry Keith says we get charged for everything here in Illinois. Well, I'm sure we do too. I just don't know what. Here's my wife. She'll take care of it. I don't know. Something happens to her, I'm in trouble because she takes care of all the bills. I don't know anything about it. That's one good thing. Michael, Rhode Island doesn't produce any type of power anymore, so now power comes from Pennsylvania. So $80 of the bill is delivery. I am solar powered now. Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully that works out for you. I know we always hear about I don't know, the incentives for solar power. We have not looked into it yet, although I will say our house has a big panel on that side that the sun hits most of the day, so it probably would be beneficial for us to have some solar hookup, but we don't. Simone says, I had to take a shot from the video. Oh, okay. All right. Steve. I don't know if I want to try to say, if I've said that before or not. Boyank. That's my guess. Greetings from mild weather, Michigan. Just pick up my base coat, clear coat, and needed hardeners, etc. Trying to figure out how to tell my wife we need to cancel Christmas. Well, just put a bow on all that stuff and say, thanks, honey. Steve says, I'm here making vids, rewiring my 68, getting ready to attack 65, all while posting it on the tube. I guess I want to know how you do that successfully. Well, I don't know if I'd consider it successful at this point. I'm not doing as well as I was previously. And part of that, we'll go back a few years. I was having some really good months and revenue when I was making the Brooklyn Pony videos. That was my viewership. My subscribers was all climbing really well, and it was leading me, I thought, down a good path. And then we ran into problems with the convertible, with the Brooklyn Pony, and not being able to make videos. And then I just saw everything just kind of drop back off. So yeah, it's still helping. There is still revenue coming in from the stuff, but it's not half of what it was before. Now, I don't know. There's a lot of things out there, and you could probably, a lot of you can all attest to this. It seems like if there's, I don't know, people doing goofy stuff, blowing up things, breaking things, whatever, that they'll get millions of views. And there's even that one guy, I think he's called the Beast Reacts or something, which I think is just the dumbest thing on YouTube. But the guy's got tens of millions of followers that watch him just go, oh. Something happens on a video and he plays it, and, oh. He makes faces about it, and he's like rolling in money. So I don't get it. But I'm trying to keep things rolling, keep things moving. Stuff like doing the Bronco is going to probably help my viewership and stuff like that. And it's a balancing act between, like, for me, I film as much as I possibly can. Now, granted, there's things that I do on the side. I'm not going to film all of the stuff that I do, like working on other people's cars, doing oil changes, doing brake jobs, or sometimes working on my own vehicle. And I've had, my daughter's car has a problem, and it's here, and I have to fix it. And I'm probably not going to make a video. I have to work on it, but I'm not going to probably video any of it. My Suburban had a problem, so I had to work on it and get the brakes fixed on it, and I didn't film any of that. And there's times where I just need to get stuff done, and I have to, decide whether I want to film this or whether I don't. Now, granted, YouTube will tell you, we want more, we want more, we want more. Keep filming and keep feeding. Do the shorts, do all this other stuff. And it's tough, especially when you're a one-man show. It would be fantastic to have other people filming or doing my editing and all that sort of stuff. But then I get like, well, who's going to edit the way that I want it, or to where it's the most useful and that sort of thing. So it's a challenge. It is a challenge. Okay. Let me go back up here. Randy, thank you to all the YouTube posters here for their time. Just fixed my microwave with YouTube's help. Wish it was around when I was younger. Yep. Yep. You know, the funny part is, some of that is that I've been making YouTube videos well over 10 years now, I guess. Granted, some of the early stuff was not good because of the quality of the camera, the editing software that was available makes it more difficult. Now today, there's much better stuff out there. Cameras, the editing equipment, lighting, all that sort of thing helps a ton. But back in, whatever 2010, whatever it was that I started, it was really tough to put something out that was really good quality. But I do use YouTube myself when I have a problem with something that I'm not familiar with. I'll look it up, and I'll look at several and go, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. So, but yeah. Get a bell, Randy. Bob, a lot of foreign-based cars use a lug type of pattern cable, thus a terminal with a bolt hole. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting from that, but I'd never seen that configuration before. Steve says, Barry sent you a picture of a car I just found. Okay, it's not come through. And maybe it still has to bounce off the satellites, but it's not come through yet. Simone, our energy prices are crazy. Yep, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that too. Rusty, my base bill here at the ranch is $15. Highest I've seen is $48. Texas Panhandle is a pretty cheap place to live. Well, that sounds positive to me. Simone is talking to Steve. Says, Footage Factory, what part of the UK are you in? Nick, Texas has their own grid, though, don't they? Yeah, that may be part of it. Dave Britton, I went to get my wife something for Christmas, and they screwed up, and somehow I got a new fishing rod. Rusty, YouTube is much harder to do than I ever thought. It is. And I'll be honest, there's been times where I was like, you know what? I may not want to do this anymore. I've just had those thoughts. It's unbelievable sometimes how much effort you have to put into some of this stuff. Now, that little MIG welder I did, it's sitting over there, you can't see it. I did that video for them. That was my last video. And I struggled with how the thing functions, like what the acronyms mean and all that sort of stuff. And finally, I just got to a point where, like, you know what? I just have to run with it and do what I can with what I understand of it. Now, I told them that I put the video up and they were going to watch it. I'm waiting because they contact me on Instagram. And I haven't seen any feedback yet as to whether they liked it or not. And it really doesn't matter because that's what they got. I'm not going to reshoot it. I'm not going to re-edit. That's what they get, And then there's other things where, again, I'm trying to work on this jig or maybe this Bronco or whatever, and I may have to film something multiple times and different angles. Because sometimes I use, you probably maybe tell from videos, sometimes I do use two different cameras when I film, and I try to overlap those so that the voice is correct with the movement or the footage. Sometimes I film with the same camera and I have to do the process twice. So I'll film with the camera from one angle and do blah, 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 blah. And then I'll put it at another angle and film that as well and try to make it blend together so that it makes sense. It's all about, careful editing and what you really want to show people. So it is a challenge. Randy, my 76-year-old mom was just asking if you finished that car. She was watching that build with me. Yeah, I didn't. It's no longer here. It's no longer here. It's gone. Steve, I started watching you with the Brooklyn Pony. As you know, I'm not a Ford guy, but you do a good job, so I'm still here. Well, thank you, Steve. And I still get subscribers. I do. I mean, I'm probably getting 500 subscribers a month. I'm getting close to 57,000. But there's other people, I don't get it. They don't give out near the information I do, and in my opinion. And maybe other people just want to be more entertained rather than learn something. I'm not much of an entertainer. I'll just say that. Just not in me. Steve, actually, very Mr. Beast is funny. I watch him, and he says to build a team of friends to bounce ideas off of one another. I'm trying to do that. This time last year, you were negative 10,000 subs? Negative 10,000. You mean 10,000 less? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, I get that. It continues to grow. And Steve, I know what you mean. If you could film that dang oil change, you would get paid. But the whole process would take you 4 days for one oil change, but your channel numbers are going up from my end. Yeah, they are going up. They are. And it's tough to. I get what you're saying about bouncing ideas and that sort of thing. And the hard part is, I do 99% of what I do by myself. I don't really have that much in the way of people that I can bounce off of. Now, Roger, when he's around and I ask for help, he's more than happy to help. And I appreciate him so much for that. And I wish I had, like, I don't know, one of my sons could come over and work, but they're both tied up doing what they do, So it's kind of hard to get other people involved when there's nobody around. There's nobody else to get involved. That's the challenge. Nick says, good Lord, how many of you have YouTube channels on this chat? I feel like I need one now, but not about cars. Well, you could make one, Nick, and just see how much fun it is. I don't know what you could make it on, because I have 2 channels. Leonard, hopefully the Bronco and your build on 60 Mustang will get more views. I will go back and watch the videos on the 2 Mustangs and the 70 that you did. Never a dull moment. Well, thank you, Leonard. Appreciate that. I'm hoping that this will generate views and that sort of thing. And then the 69 Fastback when it comes in. And of course, I have my own projects that I need to do. But I'm still I almost would like to build a whole car by myself. I mean, literally. Have a pile of parts, every single part I would need to assemble a Fastback and put it together, piece by piece. Not buy it as a prefabbed floor pan with the frame rails and all. I want all the pieces loose in a pile, and I just pull them out and start putting the thing together. I think people would get a kick out of that. I know I would. Dave, saw a very nice option. S-Code 68 convertible for sale here. Marty says 1 of 53. Very clean condition, 29,000 Canadian or 21.3 US. Jump in and drive condition, cheap. Wow. That's actually probably a pretty good price. Okay, so now, Steve, your picture came through. So let me pull that up, see if I can get that in place. See if I have enough room on my... Okay. So Steve had sent this. He said, let me back up to where it was. Somewhere up here he said he found a car. And in the email it says barn find. So here we go. What? No. Wait a minute. Steve. Oh, come on now. Where's that at, Steve? That looks like, is that a 66? Is that a 66? It's a satellite. It's not a Belvedere. Is that a two-door? It looks like a two-door. That's a satellite. Yeah, that's not a Belvedere. Okay. Because I really like the 67 Belvedere. That's cool, though. Find that in a barn. Okay, here we go. Back up a little bit. Car Guy Troy. Editing is the hardest part to me. Super time consuming. And if you have a full-time job, family, etc., it's tough to stay consistent. I'm terrible at it, but it's kind of fun to video stuff. It is fun to video stuff. And I can spend, hours doing my editing. Hours. If I have 2 to 3 hours of footage, I try to narrow that down to under 30 minutes. And then I try to make sure all the sound levels are good. I try to add information in the video when I can. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of times I will be editing for like 2 hours or an hour or whatever, and I have to stop. I like to play chess. I like to play chess online. Not that I'm good at it, but I like to play chess online. And I would just stop editing and play chess. I might play 2 or 3 games and then go back to editing. It kind of gives my mind a break for a minute and lets me reset and get back into it. Or I have to get up and walk outside or something, get away from it for a minute and come back. But yeah, it's definitely takes time. Steve says, Nick, dude, let's make a dang team and take on Mr. Beast. You, me, Barry, Simone, Dawn, and I'm in Scotland. Nick says, why not? Yeah. Robert says, I hate editing. Yeah, I don't mind editing, but I think I feel like I'm throwing away time. Honestly. There's other things that I could be doing, but I know I have a commitment. I try to put out a video every week that I can, and keep things moving. So I do it, and I feel like my videos turn out pretty good. I think so. Simone says, oh, wow, Scotland is the other end of the country for me. Okay. Steve says, what are we going to name our team? I want to be the next Cletus. Hey, if it gets us views, I'd be happy about it. Because that's the thing. He's got to have views. Dawn says, yeah, YouTube is a time suck. I tend to video mostly everything. If it's not too intrusive to getting my work done, my priority is Betsy first, YouTube second. I'm sure YouTube would like me to change that. I'm sure it would too. Dave Tyson, you do a great job. Okay. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Dave Britton, my wife and son always want me to do videos of my construction renovation, I guess. But I know it will slow me down too much. That is a difficult thing. Is having, in some instances, there's like a big channel, RR Buildings. They're huge. And, they'll do time-lapse things and different things like that. So really the only way you could make stuff happen like you're talking about is to just set up a camera and just run with it. And just do it. And then edit it to where it looks like it's doing, it kind of makes sense. And maybe do voice. I know Don does voiceovers on his. You may have to do something like that. Just say, here I am putting up this blah, blah, blah. And I'd turn the thing to this and, got to kind of make it tell a story, I guess. Nick, hey man, a Pro Touring build would help you quite a bit, I think. Wink, wink. Also, the rusty nuts. Okay. The rusty nuts. Okay. Terry Keithley, Barry, my wife says, add cats to your videos, subs will go through the roof. Well, if I do, I don't know how. I'd have to staple them down somewhere. You don't want me to do that. I'd have to staple them to the top of the workbench. Someone says, how much is a kit car over there, Barry? So when you say kit car, are you referring to like a Cobra type of kit car, or are you talking like kit car may mean different things than what we see over here, because there's Factory 5. They sell kit cars that are the Daytonas, the 34 Ford Coupes, the Cobras, stuff like that. And I really don't know what those prices are. Now, if you're talking about a pre-built body like Dynacorn sells, those are about 20 grand US plus shipping, plus tax. So Steve says he tried it again. Yeah, I got it this time. Oh, here's another. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay, so Steve sent me another. Oh, wow. Okay, so Dave sent me a picture of the 68 Mustang convertible. Yeah. That's. Let me download that too. Go back up to this. I have to delete a couple things. While I'm downloading pictures, you can look at what Robert had for Christmas. That was Robert's Christmas meal. I would thoroughly enjoy that. Okay. So, Steve sent me another picture just to torture me. Oh, man. Tell me that's just a 318 car, Steve. Tell me there's nothing special under the hood, and it's an automatic with a bench seat. Tell me that. That's what I need to hear. I need to hear it's a plain Jane 66. Don't make it a 67. It's got to be a 66 because I don't want it to be a 67. Don't torture me like that. And then Dave has sent me this picture of the 68 convertible. Now, we all know the history of these convertibles, right? Wally can attest to what he got and then what he had to do to fix. So I agree, the car looks good. And for 21, yeah, it's probably worth buying. I don't know how hard it'd be to bring it to here from Canada, but that would probably be a nice car to drive. Let's see. Hold on. Yep. Get back up here a little bit. Okay, Steve. My friends make fun of me saying this is a full-time job, this YouTube. It is, all jokes aside, this is a full-time job. Barry, you're working right now as much as people see this as fun. Yeah. Yeah. Technically, yes. Leonard says, seems like you did that with Brooklyn Pony. Yeah, I did, but, and you're right, but I also took pieces of the original car and I took a pre-built floor pan. But I want to have all of the loose pieces and start with my frame jig, my body jig that I have, and build the floor pan, put everything else on top, and just build a body. I just want to do it, just to see what I could do with it. Steve says, yep. Bob, BP was training for that ground-up build. Yeah, it was. And Leonard says, and the other Mustangs. Yep. Ed Cucciarella, it looks like a satellite. And Dave Tyson says GTX. No, it wasn't a GTX, thankfully. I would have been really upset if it was a GTX. Steve says, yep, 66. I thought you might like it. Yes, I do like it. I do like that. I like the 67 better just because the 67 has 4 headlights, if I remember correctly. Well, yeah, 4 headlights. But that's really the only difference between them. That's really the only difference. Simone says, that's a cool car. I like it. Yep. Dennis Paulson, hello, Barry and gang. Hope all is well in your world. It's cold and snowy in Western Canada. 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! Better you than me. Better you than me. Glad you're here. Leonard got to be a 66. The 67s had different taillights, yes. Well, I know the Belvedere and the satellites, they kind of overlap some of that stuff. So, Nick, man, if I could only find a 64 Polara like that in a barn. Love the old Mopars. Honestly, would have been my first choice, but I did the Mustang for my uncle. I like it, though. Yeah, it's a cool car. Steve says, Barry, make a chess channel. I have a gaming channel playing Call of Duty channel called Gaming While Old. I'm not that good at chess. I'm not that good at chess. People would just go, this guy's terrible. He does the same thing over and over and over and over, which I do. I'm kind of like a gambler. I play the same thing and wait for the other guy to screw up, or the person to screw up. See what happens. Nick, yeah, I'd be 2 streams a week of you guys trying to figure out what split screen you should be looking at. Michael Pagliarini, have you tried fabricating your own part? I am doing my rear torque boxes now. Way more work than I originally expected, but the parts are coming out way better than I expected with my skill level. I can't say I've tried to fabricate my own part. I've modified a lot of parts to make them fit the way they should, but I've done some of that. There's probably, you would have to go way back, 2012, maybe 2011. One of the challenges I had was building a 65 Galaxy 500 convertible. You don't find parts for those like you can with a Mustang. And this car, one of the cool things I did, in my opinion, was the right front inner fender was just rotted away. And you don't buy those. You can't find them. So I remade all of the different pieces. It wasn't just a flat piece of metal. It had humps in it. It had different shapes and holes, and I replicated all that. And it turned out super nice. It really did. The other thing that I did, one of the challenging things, was the old Dodge truck that we did at the body shop years ago, the louvered hood on it. One of the louvers was missing. And what I did, I took the louver from the other panel, the other side of the hood, and I cut it out just so I'd have a template. And I made a jig to the shape of that louver. Put that louver back into the other panel of the hood, and then I hand formed my own louver piece to fit the opposite side. That was a fun challenge. I did enjoy that. That was fun. Next is running in a circle, the works. Okay. Dave Britton sent you a link and a pic for that. Okay, there we got it. Steve. Actually, Don taught me a trick on YouTube. I had no idea you could add a @ channel in the description and that person gets notified. I've got a bunch of views from that alone. Okay. I don't know how you do that. I haven't looked at that. I do have links to some other channels, my favorites section or whatever. So I do have some of that going on. Simone, I have been doing some gaming on my channel due to the cold. Okay. I think I've tried to play some of these modern video games. I can't do it. I really can't. Call of Duty and all that stuff. The old stuff on like PS2 or PS3, yeah, I could play that. But the new stuff, it's just too fast. I don't practice. I don't have time to sit there and learn all the controls and what they do and remember it. I give up. I give up pretty quick. Steve, that's also a thing. I don't mind editing in the winter when cold, but summer I'm literally filling my hard drive with footage. I have a carb rebuild that I haven't posted, but TCI front end install part 2. Yeah. Well, I have half a video made on my endoscope that I bought. Half of it. I have a video filmed of the remote for a little Honda Civic. putting that in and making it work. I have some other footage and stuff that I just keep forgetting about. It just sits there. Steve, it's a 318 with buckets and AC. Well, okay, 318. That makes me feel better that it's not a big block car. And I'm assuming it's an automatic. Okay, but still, where'd you find that? And what are they doing with it? Or what are you doing with it, I should say. Dave, Social Blade says you are gaining about 600 subscribers a month. Looking good. You never know when you get to a tipping point. Well, that is true. That is true. I haven't looked at Social Blade in quite a while. I have some other thing that does all that stuff. Yeah, 600 a month. I guess that's good. So I'll take that. Thank you, Dave. Nick, you should try to build a car entirely with pop rivets. It's that kind of stupid that gets views. Pop rivets and wood screws. And then see if I can drive it, right? Sure, why not? Hey, you know what? People would watch that. I could build a 68 fastback from scratch with nothing but pop rivets. That sounds like a good challenge. Dave Tyson says Saw Dual EX. I'm not sure where we're at there, Dave. What does that mean? Greg checking in from Australia says hi, Barry. Hi, Greg. Glad you're here. Give you a bell. Steve says it was covered with coon stuff. Yeah, raccoons do leave a mess. So yeah. Nick, or you could use actual rivets. You are an aircraft guy. Just be another day at work. Call the build riveted. Now that would be fun. That would be interesting. No spot welds. All rivets. I could use mono rivets too. I need a squeeze gun. Well, I could use a rivet gun and a bucking bar. That would be probably a two-person job, though. That would be interesting. I like that. Simone, here you can buy a classic mini Barry, every panel and component, but it is not cheap. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But I would like to have a little mini. Those are cool little cars. I wouldn't mind having one of the original Honda Civics, too, the CVCC. I wouldn't mind having one of those. Those are really cool. Terry Keithley, my neighbor, is working on a Studi for a widow who will be selling it soon. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Steve, little rust on driver's bottom quarter, floors, frame trunk, spotless. Surprisingly, tires were flat, sitting on dirt. Yeah. I still have the title for my 67. Unfortunately, my brother sold my 67 to somebody else, and I don't know if it still exists or not. So that was just a 318 car with all GTX emblems on it. I don't know if it's still out there. I really don't. Part of me still wants it, though. Simone, I have to go now. I just realized it is gone past 1 a.m. Good night, everybody. Good night, Simone. Glad you were here. Leonard, and the quarter panel on 65 is great to watch you fit it. Okay. Thank you, Leonard. Appreciate that. Oh, Jeff. Awesome, man. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you. 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 Let's see. Oh, Steve. Dude, half the video made, I literally have to write notes to myself on when I pick the video back up because I wait too long. The video project will die because I don't know where I left off. Yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes I have to go watch what I've filmed to know, okay, I stopped at that point. I don't ever write notes on anything. I stopped at that point. Okay, now I can continue on. I know where I'm going with that. Oh, Dave says exhaust. Sorry. Oh, he saw the dual exhaust. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Now I got it. Yeah, sometimes I don't get the the reference, but yeah, there's dual exhaust on that car. I would probably fix that one up. I probably would, just because. Ed, pop rivet pony build. That would be the thing. That would really turn some heads. I'd have to, because all it is, I mean, everywhere there's a spot weld, you just put a rivet in it. You could do that. Now, there are aircraft rivets. There's that are called Cherry Max. There's Huck bolts. There's there's different things like that are incredibly strong. So I don't know if I'd want to do like just regular pop rivets, but you could. Ah, that would be torture though. That would be torture for me to pop rivet. I'd be in my mind going, no, I have to weld this. I have to weld it. It would be very difficult. Okay, so there's Jeff. Again, thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. And Dawn says, good night, Simone. That would be really interesting though. Take because I'm thinking about the heavy duty stuff. Would you start with a full floor pan with the frame rails in place, or would you try to assemble everything like I was talking about? Take the frame jig and stack everything up from there, because that might be even more challenging. But I could see it working. I mean, granted, you do want welds. You're not going to make a street-worthy car all held together with pop rivets. But that would definitely get some viewers in. And then what do you do with it? Do you take it all back apart and then weld it together so that it's structurally sound? Or do you just leave it at the pop rivet pony? That would be kind of fun. Yeah. That's an interesting concept. It really is. I don't know what I get to it though. I've got so many things lined up, especially this. The Bronco. I've got to get it rolling, and then move forward on the 69, which will be coming soon. So, yeah. Steve sent pictures of another car without. Oh wait, of another car. Oh, what did he send? Oh man. Okay, you're torturing me, Steve. Steve. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so I've got some pictures to upload. Let me delete some other stuff here. Hold on just a second. That's the problem with having cool stuff in your file that you want to kind of hang on to it for a minute. So Steve has sent me another picture. Let's see if it'll load. Check this out. Ooh. And that thing looks like it's got some goodies under the hood. It's got the Avanti badging on the fender. And it's got the supercharger under the hood. Ooh. Man, that's clean. That car looks like it's never been, I mean, I'm sure it's been restored, but that looks like it's showroom condition right there. Wait. Here's one more picture. So, odd color combination. Man, that's a cool car. I know everybody goes, oh, it's regular nothing. No, that's a cool car. I wonder if that's an R2. There's going to be an R2 package then. Yeah, that's got to be the R2 Avanti package. Yeah. And then Dave Britton sent me a picture of that. Now he says that's his first generation Honda CVCC or Civic 1200. And not sure if I ever showed you this. It has 48,000 original miles. Wow, that's impressive to have that low of miles on something like that. Because those cars got used up. Okay, so let me pull this back down real quick. Back to comments. Steve, this donation thing blows my mind. I used to donate so much in the past because you helped me on a project. What makes people donate? Is it an entertainment factor, or are they appreciative for your how-to videos? I'm going to assume it's appreciation for what I do on these videos and the effort that goes into it. So I appreciate anything. I really do. Robert, Cherry Max rivets are 60 cents a piece, which makes that an expensive build. Yeah, that's true. I might have some friends who could access some of that stuff, though. Don, go back and weld between the rivets after, but leave them in for the novelty. There you go. There you go. That's not a bad idea. Stephen Yurko. Rivets don't sound bad. All the shiny on the 78 K10. 78K. Wait a minute. All the shiny on the 78 K10 step side I'm building. I've determined shiny stuff is too much anxiety. I'd really like to do a patina rig, maybe a Chevy 3100 resto mod. Okay, that sounds cool. You're right. You're right. It is a lot of stress. Dave Britton, oh, I like that, Steve. Greg says, nice car. Dave Britton, first car I ever drove myself was a 64 Studebaker. Yep. Okay. Oh, man. Steve, where are you finding these pictures from? Because I love me some Studebakers. I really do. These cars were ahead of their time. So he says he sent one more picture. Here it is. And that's it. Well, I'm going to say 63, but oh, does that have the badging on it too? Oh, it is. That's a supercharged car. I have to go to the first picture and look, and so it says, in front of it says Q car. Man, that's pretty cool. So it has the Avanti badging underneath the Lark on the front of the fender. Oh, and there's an Avanti beside it too. Where were you at, Steve? Now I'm looking at everything that's in the background. That's a cool car. Don's Manufacturing. Oh, it says Goodnight Smith. Sorry. I'm off on my... Where am I at here? Dennis Paulson. I use pop rivets to install a rocker panel on my 71 Ford E100 passenger side under the side doors in 1992. That works. That works. Don's Manufactory. Painting equals stress. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I will not argue that one bit. And Robert, going to be painting in the shop soon and no stress at all. It's an OSB wall. Yep. That's the best kind. That's the best kind. Okay. Let me get back up here. Dave Britton. No one seems to know that the old Studebakers really ripped pretty close to a Cobra. They were incredibly fast, especially the supercharged stuff. Yeah, people just don't know. They just don't know. Especially with the Granatelli brothers being involved with them and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. Dennis, I used furnace duct metal on the furnace duct metal, and the people there did most of the bending for me. Now going into 2023, the rocker panel is good. However, I have rust and a lot of other spots to address. Okay. And Steve says MCACN show 2 weeks ago in Rosemont, Chicago. Okay, not familiar with that show. Not familiar with that show, but it looks like they had some really cool stuff there. You know what? I wanted to show you all something. So, I've been wanting to protect jade, from dust and debris and whatever that may accumulate around the shop and in the garage. So, I looked this company up, carcover.com, and they were having a sale. You know how it is, the Black Friday sale. And I thought, well, let me look and see what they offer. And they had different levels of car covers. So they have I think this is their highest level. This one is, you can actually use it outdoors. And I have not looked at the packaging yet. I'm just now getting into it. But apparently it's even got some stuff built in, like it's got a cable feature on it where you can lock the cover onto the car. I think this is supposed to be like an antenna cover or antenna hole cover. Looks like it's got some other little cord, and what else is in this bag? Some sort of quick connect straps, and it even comes with, if I can get it out of the bag, a little padlock. You know how important that is. I'm sure nobody could break that. But point being, I wanted to cover up the car because, hey, I don't want to have to mess with it again. Oh, I thought I was going to pull this out and open it up and look at this. This thing is vacuumed. This thing is vacuumed down. But I will get this on the car. I'll probably do maybe show a video on it at some point. I'm not going to open it up right now because, it's not in here. But I don't know if they're having any sales, but if you're interested, carcover.com is where I found it. I don't have any affiliate link with them. But it's supposed to have, with this one, I think the inside is supposed to have like a fleece kind of lining in it. That's supposed to help protect, but yeah, antenna patch thing, blah, blah, blah. So now you know. Check them out, carcover.com. That's all I can say. Steve, what are you doing now? Did you send me one more picture? Oh, wait a minute. So, Wild Bill. Hello, new here. Well, hello, Wild Bill. Give you a bell for showing up. Appreciate it. Glad you're here. Okay. So, wait a minute. Now I have Steve's Money Pit telling me one more. But I also got another picture from Steve. I think from Footage Factory. So let me. So I don't know if I'm a little confused because I got two Steves going here. But this one is okay. Yeah, that's Footage Factory. Oh, wait a minute. It says I don't have enough room. Hold on. Let me delete a couple things. Well, no, that's not right either. It may not let me open that. It may not let me open that to put up here. Yeah, it's not letting me do it, Steve. There's something else going on with that, so I can't open that one. Okay, so I don't see any other pictures coming through. I don't know if I can. Oh, it's got a zip extractor on it. Yeah, well, let me. I can't do that right now. Let's see. Wild Bill says thanks. Like the Bronco. Yes. Yeah, there's gonna be more footage on that. It's gonna be. We're gonna be painting that one. So the color code is U, from like a 1974 Ford series. So if you want to look that up, that's what it'll be. And Steve said, "What's up, Wild Bill? Get your car info here." Yeah, exactly. Wild Bill building a 65 F250 4x4 306 4-speed. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. That sounds like a beast. I know I'd tried to. I had a 66 4x4 that we used up at my dad's junkyard. Yeah, I like that a lot. So you get a bell for that. Unfortunately, we are about to end the show. It's getting time to get back in the house, get something to eat. I'm hungry, and you don't want that. Don't want to become hangry. And Wild Bus has picked it up in Cottonwood, Arizona. Awesome. That thing's got to be solid then. Good for you. Good for you. Okay. It's been a good night. It's been a good night. We've stayed busy. We've shared pictures. We've talked about stuff. I'm hoping that we can do this again. Same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Ah. All right, so Steve sent me one more picture. I'm going to have to just get that one real quick. Hold on. One more. See if I can't get that up there. And ooh, that's cool. That's a unique ride. Chrysler 300. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate that. Okay. All right. So we'll get this back again on next Monday night at 7. I'm going to. I definitely have plans to finish up the frame jig. I've been working on redoing my design. So there'll be more on this later, but I did redraw everything that I wanted to do. I think I made it simpler, but also more practical in what I want to get done. There'll be more on that later on. But get that taken care of, and hopefully be starting on that Bronco very soon. That's the goal. So that's it for tonight. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.